right, what's going on, mi gente? ¿Qué pasa? What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Geek-A-Rican Podcast. I'm Zach Muniz. This is
your boy Ali Oxnfree, one half of the top 5 Dead or Alive podcast.
I want to thank him for coming on the show. He's co-hosting with me again this week. My guy's always looking out. He's a good dude. So I much appreciate you.
Likewise,
So it's been some week, man. What's going on? How's your week?
A little hectic, a little crazy. A lot of running around to do, trying to make some moves for the upcoming year and whatnot. So it's trying to get organized, brother. But I appreciate you for having me on the show.
Nah, man, I appreciate you and co-hosting with me this week. It's much appreciated because it's fun to do with somebody you really vibe with, and we had a great show last week. So check out the last week's episode if you haven't checked it out. It's going to be in the description somewhere after the show. I hope y'all following my man Ali's YouTube and his podcast.
Yeah,
Top 5 Dead or Alive.
Right.
Definitely worth a listen. So here we are, Geek-A-Rican Podcast, episode number 2. And there's some stuff that was announced this week, some stuff that was that came out this week. First and foremost, I got to get it out the way. I got to do my little Star Wars plug-in this week. So Marvel's, let me see this right. Boom. Marvel's High Republic issue number 3 came out, dropped this week. It's actually pretty good. Avar Chris is in it, who's one of the main Jedis in the High Republic, and it's actually a really good story. So this is issue number 3. So check it out, Marvel and your comic book shops. It's actually pretty fire. Then another High Republic comic that came out was issue number 2 from IDW. High Republic issue number 2. If you haven't checked it out, it's actually really, really good. Daniel Jose Older writes this one. He's a New York writer, and he's actually really dope. Spanish guy, really cool. So if you haven't checked it out, check this out.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a little Star Wars plug-in because I always got to do a little Star Wars. So, fair warning, we are going to be spoiling WandaVision this episode. So if you haven't seen episode 9, turn back now, because if not, you're going to get spoiled. So we could shoot right into it, man. Right into WandaVision. This is we'll lead off with it. What did you think, man?
What did I think? I watched it twice.
Me too. Definitely me too.
Yeah, I watched it twice. First time I was like, Second time I was like, okay. It ended kind of how I expected it. Not grandiose appearances from like Sorcerer Supreme or Mephisto or Doctor Strange or whoever. Just them good that standard trope of the good hero, the hero split into two, like the bad Superman, the good Superman is kind of the same, that narrative, and the Vision fighting the White Vision.
Okay, I don't want to cut you off, but do you find that Marvel does that a lot in all their movies? We could go back to Captain America 1. I mean, not even Captain America, excuse me, Iron Man 1. It was an Iron Man, an iron suit, fighting a big iron suit.
Yeah.
Ant-Man fought another little Ant-Man. You know what I mean? Which was the yellow jacket. You know what I mean? They always go back to, they fight somebody with the similar powers, but not really. You know what I know? That's what I noticed.
Black Panther versus Killmonger in the Black Panther suit. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Black Panther versus Killmonger. That's a perfect example. You see what I'm saying?
I think all comic book companies do it, but like we just breaking it down just now, Marvel has kind of done that over and over and over again.
And we'll use WandaVision. We'll go WandaVision. She's a witch. She fought another witch. Now you got Vision fighting another Vision. So my man, they just fighting themselves practically.
Yeah. So I mean, the fight scenes, it was cool. Cool. I thought Monica, we would have saw a little bit more from Monica. The whole her brother being just a regular dude kind of disappointed me a little bit. other than that, I mean, for what it was a good episode. It left me. I don't really know a lot about her character.
Right.
So certain things that, like especially the end credit scenes, I'm like, okay, I want to know more. Like, what is that? You probably know more about that than I do.
Yeah, I mean, I know a little bit, but did you find that because of all the hype on the show and all the fan theories, that because none of them came to fruition, there was a more level of disappointment to it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. This
So,
feels that whole season, it just feels like a bridge to something else. Like we're gonna give you a little bit, but it's leading to something. That's what I'm feeling. I don't know.
Or people wanted it to be more of a bridge, right? Like people wanted to see, some of the fan theories was Reed Richards, Mephisto. That was never even a thought,
Yeah.
They who else was somebody else they wanted? Like they just had so much expectation. They they want to talk about mutants. They wanted to use this show as like a bridge to really get the Marvel phase started, right? But none of it happened. You didn't get nothing to move the needle. If you feel what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So don't you feel like you shortchanged? I guess a lot of people felt shortchanged.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the whole series. How do you feel about the whole series in its totality, along with this season finale, as it was called, series finale?
So, all right. So here's how I take it, right? And it's funny that you say it because I literally, after I watched it, I took a shower. I was thinking about it in the shower, and then I was like, you know what? Let me give it some time, let it marinate in my brain, and then I went back to it and watched it again over the nighttime, and then I was really thinking about it, and so the show, right? To me, the show could have been. You take 3-4 episodes out, you could have made it a movie.
Yeah.
You could have made it a movie.
Yeah.
And then it would have just served its purpose as a movie. But no, you wanted to stretch it out. You wanted to elongate it, go week to week, make everybody wait, and like you would leave it every episode with a cliffhanger, but then never really fulfill that cliffhanger.
Yeah.
And maybe I would have liked the show if they did the Netflix way, right? Release all of it. And as a total, maybe I would have appreciated it more, right? So if you didn't want to do the movie way, if you would have came in all at once, maybe as a whole, you would have been like, wow, it was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
But they didn't do it that way. So I was just like, every week I was kind of left disappointed, left like empty, like something was missing. But the ending, the episode 9, I liked it. I liked it a lot, actually. But that was it. That was the best part of it, right? So to me, that was the best part of the series. The season finale was fire. Like they started with a fight sequence really right away. So it opened up with her having the kids on the little neck, by the neck, whatever, and she got out. And then they started fighting, boom, right away. Then the White Vision shows up, and I'm like, all right, now we moving. Now we have an action show. Yeah. And it was dope, yo. Like it was cool. And I asked myself, yo, did it stick the landing, right? Did it do what it aimed for? And I think it did. It was a good. And I was talking to my brother about this, Jones Bones. He's gonna try to be in one of these episodes one of these days. Okay. He said that he gave it like a 7.4 something, because it wasn't a 10, right? It wasn't a 10.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, and I said I think it's a 7, right? Like a straight 7, and because it wasn't like 5 or 6, right? It wasn't that horrible because it gave you a lot of depth into to Wanda and her trauma and her powers and stuff like that. But the first few episodes, it took too long, I guess, to lead to that, And I understand they're trying to do the whole sitcom thing, but I don't know. I still felt like it was short. We were shortchanged in that sense.
Yeah.
So, but with the season finale, the fight sequence with her and Agnes, which was fire. Like, yo, when she put the ruins all around and she basically set her up, I thought that was fire. I was like, yo, see, look, that's something. And then when she became the Scarlet Witch and the outfit with the crown on her head, I was like, yo. So overall, as a series, I do give it a 7, right? I do give it a 7. It was a little slow burn. It was maybe a little understatement. Maybe like it was a slow burn. But by the time I got to the season finale, I appreciated the season finale. I still felt like all those fan theories which I read in a few other places, that's what really made the show kind of disappointing, right? Because everybody wanted Reed Richards, right? Everybody wanted the Sorcerer Supreme, right?
Yeah.
Because they mentioned him, right? They mentioned him in the last episode. She's stronger than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
We can't get a glimpse. This man is in charge of, protecting the world from threats. And he never shows up. Come on, Marvel, you got that budget. Stop playing.
Yeah.
Like that's the Luke Skywalker moment, right? That's that moment when you'll be like, yo, but no, you never got nothing. You never got somebody coming from the outside. You never got this story connecting in with the outside universe.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was like shortchanged, and they didn't do themselves any favors by really like knowing. Even obviously they can't tell people, yo, don't look forward to something like this, because they want people to come and watch. But then by the end, people are gonna be like, nah, it wasn't that good then, So
Yeah.
I think it hurt them. I think it hurt them a little bit, by making all these people have all this hype and no payoff.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was me. A 7. You give it a what? What was your rating on that?
I give it a 7.1. I don't know how that if math works like that. 7.1.
It could be. It could be today. It could be today.
7.1. I ain't gonna give it 7.5. 7.1. It's almost. Right. It's on the way to the half mark.
It's 7.1. All right, I'll take that.
It didn't really stick, like you said, fully stick the landing. It wasn't terrible, but like you said, it could have chopped away a couple of episodes and made it into a movie, or if it probably would have been more palatable if it was put out Netflix way. You know what I mean? You could just get through the episodes as opposed to us constantly waiting half an hour at a time. And you know what I mean? Like kind of like breaking the pace up a little too much. It's like, come on, let's get to something, So I don't know.
So the mid-credit scene though, when the Skrull came to see Monica, did you check it out? Yeah. So Monica, I guess that she gets called. She's getting summoned up to space to, I guess, see Nick Fury. I thought that was pretty cool. Like a cool call to see her, and I'm assuming she's gonna be in Captain Marvel too. I mean, she has to be in Captain Marvel too. Did you like Captain Marvel 1?
It was cool. It was cool. It wasn't on the levels of like Civil War or anything like that, but it was a cool little, it felt like a bridge movie, But the only thing I was in the mind state thinking that she was going to be like the savior and like Endgame, like she was going to come and really be the one to really fuck Thanos up, but that didn't happen like that. So
I actually loved the build-up though. They made it seem like she was going to be the one to come and take care of business against Thanos, and everybody like, oh, she's coming, it's over. And then they're like, nah, she got her ass beat too. Like he's like,
and
nah.
Wanda was giving him a run for his money too when she was going up against him.
She was giving him the whole business, like the whole business. He was like, yo, rain fire, because I'm a bitch. So I like it. He's like, I don't know who you are. And he's like, I don't even know who you are. She's like, oh, you will. I was like, yo, that's what's up.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. This series definitely made me want to read House of M. I haven't read that.
Me neither. And I think I want to give it a read too. Even though everybody knows that, I guess, the main storyline, because I haven't read it, but I know the main storyline. She has all these powers and she makes up her own like little world or whatever. And then I heard by the end of House of M, we all know what happens to the mutants. But it makes me do want to study her story more, because she has a lot of depth as a character and she has a lot of struggles. Even though the comic books and the movies obviously had a different way to go about it, I think they tried to make that connection. So so I liked it. And then the second cut scene when you see her in the house on like the little secluded joint, and she was reading the book. Oh my god, the name slips my mind. The book though, and she's studying her things, and then you could hear her kids. What do you think that's about? Like, what do you think that
was the part I was confused about, and I being that I don't really know too much about her and the creation of her children. I hear that she created them, and then something happened to them, but they come back later as teenagers. So I don't really know too much about it. So I'm really interested. I'm about to do my online research. Yeah. I mean,
So
like, I got a boy. Matter of fact, I got a boy who lived he's about a block away. I got to get him on your show too, because this dude, he would know the answer to that. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, you should have read this." Pop, 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 pop. I'm like, ah, dang.
I need all that information. Give me all
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I love reading stuff, and sometimes I don't even like. You can YouTube half this stuff, right? You could YouTube stories and stuff like that. But some of me like, nah, I'd rather just read it myself. Like, there's a lot of stories that I've read, and there's a lot of stories that I've kind of like played myself at and haven't read. Like I bought myself the Planet Hulk, book, the graphic novel, excuse me, and we all know the story, right? We all seen it. There's animated versions. There's like movie fake versions of it, or different versions of it. I mean, I call it fake, but I have the book and I still want to read it. I still want to know more. So the stuff with Wanda, I definitely want to know more. But from what I do know in comic book relations, the kids I think were made through Mephisto's dark magic. And then he ends up taking them away, but years later they come back, as Speed and Wiccan. And so I guess that's why everybody expected Mephisto to be around, because, if these kids were made up or she made them, how could they really exist? Or do they really exist? Are they in an alternate universe? Are they just like things in her head that she could create? Because, she could bend, twist reality to her will. So that goes to show you her level of strength and power. So well, we're gonna definitely see her in Doctor Strange or the Multiverse of Madness. So she's gonna be there, and a lot of people said that it's gonna include Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man she's gonna have a thing in Spider-Man. So, so after watching this, I'm sorry,
Doctor Strange, is that this year?
I think it's next year. I think it's next year. I think it's 2022. From when last time I checked, the Multiverse of Madness is set to come out, but they brought a lot of the people back. I heard for that movie. It's supposed to be like a version, like a horror version of it. It's supposed to be a horror movie. They ended up changing directors because there was like a change of views. But I think Sam Raimi, who did the original Spider-Man, is directing this one. And I actually was listening to your podcast. Sidebar. And one of your favorite top 5 is Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2.
Yeah. My boy, shout out to Cal. My boy Cal. That was his choice. Spider-Man 2.
Right. It was. I forgot it was one of y'all, but he's definitely smart dude. He knew, and Spider-Man 2 is a great Marvel movie, man. Like, and it was just for what it was at the time, and Doc Ock, and I could appreciate it. I appreciate it. When he did number 3, I don't know, that stupid dance sequence. We all talk about it. We all know about it. It kills me. But Sam Raimi did 1 and 2 and 3, and he's doing, I believe, Doctor Strange. He took over or was he directing? I think he was a part of the project. I'm gonna look it up right now because I don't want to be incorrect, because that really bothers me. But anyway, I'm looking forward to Doctor Strange because it's supposed to be like a horror, scary type thing. Movie. So I like Doctor Strange. I thought the first movie was pretty good. And
I enjoyed it.
What's so funny, when I watched Doctor Strange, I found myself realizing there's 4 characters in the movie. 4, right? There's only 4 characters in the movie, and the whole movie is just those 4 actors interacting with one another, which is weird. Like, if you ever noticed, it's only the Ancient One. It's the bad guy, Doctor Strange, or maybe Mordo. Okay, Mordo and the girl. So there's 5. But those 5, it's just like the way it all worked was like they just all intertwined somehow. And I was like, all right, but I like Doctor Strange, man. It was so cool. It was twisty. It was, this cocky guy who ended up broke because he broke his hands. I don't know.
The animated movie was also pretty good too. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't watch it. No, I didn't. Tell me about it.
Yeah, check it out if you get a chance. The animated movie that they had for it, it came out. I forgot how many years ago, but it was pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. So I got to check that out. I definitely got to check that out because, Sam Raimi is directing it right now. I'm sorry, I had a feeling because I think they had a different director originally, and then they ended up making a change, and I think they brought in Sam Raimi later, and so so that's who's doing it now. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's Doctor Strange. So we're going to see WandaVision on that. So now that WandaVision is over, what is your feelings about future Marvel projects, future Falcon, Winter Soldier, like, movie wise, because then Loki's coming out right after that. So what are your feelings of future shows on it?
I'm just hoping that they're at least if y'all gonna dish them out one at a time, please, 45 minutes at least. You could do an hour. Come on, you're driving me crazy. I can't take it. I got enough anxiety. I think it would have been, like you said, a little bit more palatable as is if I had it in one sitting and I could just go through it. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that don't stop me from looking forward to what they got to give, and especially being a fan of the cinematic universe and how it all ties together. So it's like you kind of gotta watch it. You know what I mean? If you want to be abreast on what's going to be coming on in the theaters. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really anxious to see how they're going to do the Loki joint.
I don't really have no information on Loki. I don't really understand what they're trying to do. I did see the trailer that they had released during Investor Day, but I like Loki as a character. Loki as a character. I thought he was awesome.
I like that actor.
Tom Hiddleston. Shout out to Tom Hiddleston. Hiddleston. Excuse me. I don't know what I said like that. Sidebar: March 25th, 2022, release of Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. March 25th. Unless something gets pushed back or something. That's what we're looking forward to. Oh man, Falcon Winter Soldier, 2 weeks. Episode 1, I believe, is going to be on the 19th. I love Falcon. I thought his character had a really dope story, even though you don't really know too much about him. Because there's not much really to tell. He doesn't really have so much of a backstory. But the on your left in Winter Soldier, on your left, and then you go into Endgame, and then Cap, can you hear me? Come on, man. That scene though.
Yeah.
That scene he's like on your left. They come out, and then you see the Black Panther. Yo. Yo, the movie theater was wild. Like, woo, yeah. Yo, it was so dope. Had a great time when I went to go see it. So Falcon, I think he has a lot of potential. And if he is going to take the mantle, which I believe he was because Cap gave it to him, I love that African-American dynamic of him becoming America. Because what is more America than diversity?
Absolutely.
And as a Puerto Rican, Hispanic, New York person, and you as an African-American know the importance of inclusion and diversity. And I think if he took the mantle, it was dope. And I have nothing against Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes, Sebastian Stan, being the Captain America, because I think he's different too in a good way. But something about Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, I think, is really, really strong and potent.
Yeah. Definitely. Can't wait till that come out.
And then Baron Zemo, you seen Baron Zemo, his whole mask. I think that's so dope. I don't know. Go give me real comic-y, cheesy stuff, because we know what it is, right? I kind of like it.
He's gonna be on that show, Baron
Zemo, absolutely. You didn't see him with the purple mask? Because remember, he was in Civil War. He was the one that was orchestrating the whole thing, and then T'Challa saved him from killing himself. So he's gonna be in it. He's gonna wear the purple mask and be all about it. So
wow, okay.
We're looking forward to that. Supposedly, what's his name? George St. Pierre, who played the Leaper in Winter Soldier. Do you remember in the beginning? That
fight scene. He was doing his thing against Cap.
Yeah, on that boat. Come on, man. They did their thing on that boat. Shout outs to George St. Pierre. He was a great UFC fighter. Sidebar. Great UFC fighter. Falcon Winter Soldier, 2 weeks. Definitely got to check that out. You got to check that out. Everybody, Marvel, Disney Plus. It's definitely gonna be a week-to-week thing. I think they do the week-to-week thing so it could keep you intrigued. It could keep people talking about it. It could draw more people in because I watch stuff on Netflix, right? I think the last thing I watched on Netflix was like Bridgerton, and it has no comic book relation, but it's actually pretty good. Bridgerton, check it out on Netflix. Has nothing to do with comics, but whatever. It's pop culture. It's something now. And you do it throughout a whole sitting, but you talk about it once and then that's it, right? You talk about it and you talk about it maybe a few times, but that's it, right? But Wanda WandaVision, slash Mandalorian, slash, Disney Plus keeps you talking about it, engaged every week, good or bad, keeps you talking about it. So that's why they do it, right? So they'll get more subscribers, and people do it. If they hear you talking about it, they hear me talking about it, and then this week, but then we also talk about it next week, and then the week after that, then they'll be like, "Yo, we got to see what the hell these people are talking about." So Disney's not dumb, man.
I mean, when you think about it, like I noticed when every episode, as soon as it ends, Age of Ultron comes up. It's like, oh, okay, so this is for the people who's probably new to this whole thing. And they could, as soon as they watch that, this will come up, and then we'll watch this, and you'll see like her doing, you get to see her character and her emotional states and all that stuff. So it's a great strategy to get them, because things will pop up and it'll make you say, well, let me check out this, let me check out that. So I would imagine as a business, they're trying to get you to watch, come back, stay around for a while. Watch, come back, stay around for a while, instead of, as opposed to, okay, we give you this, y'all digest it, and then y'all don't come back to Disney until another, show.
Another year, or exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what you watch The Boys on Amazon.
Yeah.
So you go, and they did that strategy too for I believe the second season. They did like a week to week thing, and people kept coming back. The whole like Daredevil, on Netflix, it came out all at once. You watch it once, and maybe you go back a second time, but how often do people really go back to rewatch something like that? So I like the strategy. I think it works. So also, real quick, did you feel that they were trying to low-key kind of say that Wanda had her powers already throughout the whole time, and the Age of Ultron thing kind of just brought it out of her?
That's what I was wondering. I'm like, are they trying to say like she's a mutant? You know what I mean? Because like, oh yeah, she, you like that scene when they were showing her young and like she was moving. How did you do this? How did you do that? And I'm like, okay, I'm wondering if they really trying. I hope just give us some mutants, Marvel. Mutants, Marvel, please. Mutants.
Ooh. So I got an idea for your podcast. Top 5 mutants, baby. Come on, top 5 mutants.
Okay.
Talk about it. You and your boy, give it a review. I'll throw my little 2 cents in
there. We're going to do that as a show. You got to come on, though. You got to come on.
I'm there. Because mutants, there's so many. And the X-Men universe is so vast. Like, Marvel took a lot of time, I feel like, with the X-Men in the 90s and all the characters between the villains and the good guys. Come on, like there has so much depth to Magneto and all these other mutants, and you really, really learn to appreciate what they did. And the fact that Fox had the movie rights really handcuffed Marvel. You could tell. You could tell. Because a lot of stories revolve around the mutants.
Yeah.
And so now that, Wanda, they like so indirectly said that she might have had these powers already, and like this thing activated inside her, and that the bomb never went off because she used chaos magic, but she was born with chaos magic, or she was born a mutant. Doesn't really super be clear, but just enough to keep you thinking. So I'm all for mutants.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, top 5. Check that out. I want to top 5 mutants. I want to do it because I'm gonna make my list now because I already have an idea.
All right, I got you, bro.
All right. So speaking of mutants, that's a cool segue to some news. I think we good. We're talking about Wanda. You think so? We're good with Wanda? Yeah. So we liked it. All right, cool. Overall, we liked it. It was good.
Yeah.
So we'll segue into some news here that came up. So a source called the Luminary came out and said that Marvel is working on a X-Men reboot. And the title, I think as of right now, is called The Mutants, which I don't think is really going to hold any weight because, the New Mutant was the last movie that came out. So, so the movie's going to call it The Mutants. It's a reboot on X-Men. And I guess my real question is, like, what did you think of Fox's X-Men? And because they came out with a lot of movies. They made some money on it. So what did you think of the Fox movies, the originals? Then they went back and did like the whole First Class, Days of Future Past, Apocalypse thing. What did you feel about it?
a lot of it was like hit and miss. I like X-Men 2. I think I like First Class.
I love me some Nightcrawler. Give me some Nightcrawler all day.
Yeah, him in the scene in the White House, dope.
What? Fire.
Yeah.
Fire.
Yeah, that's a horror movie right there. Nightcrawler coming to kill you. That's a horror movie.
In the White House, though, like in the White House, he went in and everybody's shooting at him, and nobody could touch this man. Yo, that scene was off. Keep going. I'll steal that.
Yeah, First Class. I think I like. Is that the one with Kevin Bacon?
Right, that's the one with Kevin Bacon when he's up.
Yeah, I like that one. Of course, Logan I liked, but they had a lot of like misses. Like the last one with Apocalypse.
The Dark Phoenix was the last one.
Dark Phoenix. I don't even think I watched that one. The Dark Phoenix. I didn't even watch that one. I'm not even gonna lie.
It wasn't right. It was all right. It was
yeah.
You could tell Jennifer Lawrence was already very checked out.
That's what.
She was already checked out as Mystique.
Yeah, there was a couple of scenes I watched. I'm like, this chick
her paint job, like she was faded. Like it's like the sun hit her paint job, and like it wasn't all, together. But spoilers. You want me to spoil the movie for you? I could definitely do with a spoiler. Well, we're gonna hit the spoilers. If you haven't seen Dark Phoenix, turn back now. But she ends up dying in the movie. Like Mystique ends up dying in the movie. So it's just like you could tell she was checked out. She was ready to go.
Yeah.
But overall, it wasn't a terrible movie. So I enjoyed Apocalypse, right? And so, you know why? Because they introduced so many different X-Men. Of course, X-Men that I love. You got Angel, who ended up being a bad guy, fighting Nightcrawler, who's the devil for all intents and purposes. So you have that Angel, devil little thing, but ended up being that the person that looks like the devil, which is Nightcrawler, is actually the good guy, as opposed to Angel being the bad guy, which is actually a pretty cool dynamic.
Yeah.
You got to see Psylocke, who I thought was really badass. And then you got to see Cyclops, like the emergence of Cyclops. What's very disappointing to me was when Havoc died, was Cyclops' older brother, Alex Summers. I could talk about X-Men all my life. I swear. I guess I'm a bigger X-Men fan than I really thought, but I love X-Men. And I used to watch the 90s shows, the cartoons, religiously. Even now, it's on Disney Plus. I find myself watching it.
Yeah, so I like the comic. Jim Lee was the artist for it. I was in love with X-Men back in the days.
Yeah. So I did like the X-Men movies overall. There's ones I really didn't care for, like X-Men 3. I really didn't care for. X-Men 1 was a great start, right? Like it was something. You used to Hugh Jackman, and I thought it was a good start. And the Wolverine movie, I like the Wolverine when he went to Japan and he got his the things. Logan, obviously we already all know Logan. How do you feel about Deadpool? Like I love Deadpool too. I thought Deadpool
about the actual not X-Men Origins Deadpool, not that one.
We don't talk about that. That doesn't exist.
Why?
That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's not canon, I guess. That's not canon.
Yeah.
Oh no, the Ryan Reynolds one, man. The Ryan Reynolds one.
Yeah. Oh, those are dope. I enjoyed both of them. I love that character. He's hilarious. Yeah. Oh yeah. Deadpool.
So what would you feel if, rest in peace to Stan Lee, now that he doesn't do the cameos no more, if Deadpool pops up into all the Marvel movies? Would you think it's hysterical?
I don't know.
He breaks the fourth wall. Come on, man.
Yeah. I get maybe if you're gonna do that in like mutant related movies, like a Wolverine type movie maybe, or X-Men movie, but I don't know if I want to see him doing that in like Captain America, another Captain America movie.
All right, fine. All right. So with new X-Men reboot, hopefully we see Mutant sometime soon. I'm like ready to see this Fox property, because they're working on Fantastic Four, because they've always been saying they're going to work on Fantastic Four, so we need to see it already.
Yeah.
What else do we got here? So that's it for X-Men, and for I really love X-Men, and definitely gonna do a top 5 on that. Other news: finally in production in April begins Black Adam with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Okay. And
this movie has been announced years ago, and they're like, he's gonna play him, and finally we're getting a production. And you told me you haven't really finished Shazam.
No. I'll probably watch it before the end of this weekend.
You gotta finish it. You gotta finish Shazam, or you gotta even watch it, like because you fall asleep.
I checked out. That was a movie I fell asleep on. I'm not gonna lie, people. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna give it a look at again.
It was cool. So anyway, Black Adam's gonna be The Rock is finally gonna start production on it, and I'm looking forward to it because we did get some pictures during DC's fandom. We got some pictures of like his outfit and the characters that are gonna be involved in it, and Dr. Fate, I believe his name is the basically equivalent of Doctor Strange or for the DC, right? Because you know DC's your field, right?
Yeah. A little something. I like DC. I like them because they're the underdog, so I'm rooting for them.
So you know Dr. Fate, right? That's his name, Dr. Fate. I hope I'm correct on that one.
Yeah,
he's the one with
the yellow helmet and the
yeah.
yellow. Yeah, a little something. All these characters are kind of like bites on one another. Yeah, like you said, that he is kind of like a Doctor Strange in a sense, you know.
Right. So like Marvel's equivalent of Batman, nobody could ever be Batman because Batman's always gonna be the Batman, is Moon Knight, right? So love me some Moon Knight, bro. Oh my god, I could talk to you ages about Moon Knight, but that's his equivalent of Moon Knight, which they are already announced that they're working on a TV show for Moon Knight for Disney Plus. So in 2019, I went to D23, which is Disney's like Comic-Con, I guess. It's like their Disney convention, and they announced Miss Marvel, who's Kamala Khan, the stretchy lady, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and a lot of other projects that they were announcing. So Moon Knight is in the works. So also Deadpool and Deathstroke are comparable, and so a lot of these characters that they're going to be bringing to DC, you're going to see the similarities with them. But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to The Rock's version of it because he's a good actor. He's a good action actor, you know.
That's definitely. I mean, it's about time he played some superhero because I mean he's physically born to play something. You know what I
mean? He's a big guy, yo. That guy needs to be somebody. And that was a little bit of news. I'm sure there's other things that happened this week, but the last bit of news was: did you hear that they announced the second season of Superman and Lois?
Already, huh?
Their first episode blew up, man. That first episode blew up.
Yeah, it was good. I haven't watched it. Is the second episode out as yet?
I think it came out this week. I have not also as well checked it out.
That's another thing I gotta check out. Oh yeah, from the first episode, it caught my attention, and I'm definitely gonna try to follow the season, see where it goes. You know.
Do you like Superman? What are your feelings on Superman as a character overall?
As a character, my favorite. I'm an artist too, so Superman was probably the first thing that I drew. You know what I mean? As a kid, at 4 years old, drawing like Superman and Supergirl and Batman, like that. That's probably my favorite superhero is Superman. Probably my favorite superhero. Yeah, because he's like the first superhero. He's a Boy Scout. He's a good dude, thank God, or else he would be, running the planet. So, I love Superman as a character.
So, for me, and I know you're gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy or sideways. My least favorite superhero was Superman, and I'm gonna tell you, you why. Right. So my reason for him being my least favorite character was because of his power. Right. Was because he was too good and all this power, and he was born in like Kansas, or he was born in Krypton and he was raised in Kansas or whatever it was in Smallville, and I just felt like, he's too OP, right? Like he's too overpowered. Like you don't play with me, and then he's too good. Like, and like I like the underdog. I'm sure so do you, right? So
yeah.
Batman trying to fight Superman is a mismatch, right? It's a mismatch. But the fact that he'll put out some kryptonite and try to whip that ass as much as he could, even if he can't really, he's gonna try. You know?
Yeah.
I like that. I thought he was so overpowered. I like the superhero to have that struggle and have that. Even though Superman's struggle, as I've grown up, is different, right? His struggle is he can't die, but the people around him can, right?
Yeah.
He can't control everything around him, which is fire. And nothing says that more than, was it Batman vs Superman? In one of the movies when that guy in the wheelchair blows up the building,
Yeah,
and he didn't see it, and
yeah,
he's there in the ruins, and everything's on fire around him, and everybody
yeah.
died around him, and the only person that's not dead is him.
It's, yeah,
And
that was the
he's
L
freaking
scene.
because he's Superman. And so
Yeah.
he had to literally watch all these people just obliterate. And he's just standing there. And Henry Cavill, shout out to Henry Cavill as
Mm-hmm.
Superman. Because right now, if you can't get him back as Superman, you're doing yourself and your fans a disservice if you're DC.
Yeah, yeah.
Because nothing made me like Superman as much as he did. Because I didn't care for Superman. I never did. Even rest in peace to um, um, Christopher Reeves, right? His name Christopher Reeves.
Yeah, yeah. What?
You
You
know,
wasn't feeling him?
I like it. It was a movie, right? Like it's a movie. I liked it, right? But to me, the way Henry Cavill portrays Superman, I just felt like, yo, he's Superman. And then
Wow.
that the way you see his face of disappointment, like I didn't see the bomb, and all these people died, and I couldn't save any one of them, and his struggle, he's just like fuck, man, like
Yeah, yeah.
that's a burden he has to live with, and that's struggle, bro. That's
Okay,
struggle.
now that scene, I like what you're saying. He acted that scene great, but there's a scene in first Superman, 1979, if I'm not mistaken, or 1978, when Lois Lane dies, and Superman, he gets mad and he just he shoots up in the air. That face that he made, I'm like, this dude is pissed. I love that scene right there. So that's my motion Superman moment scene, as like what you're talking about right there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So everybody has that connection, right? Everybody has that connection with what they relate to as that character. So maybe I gotta give it another run, right? I gotta give the original Superman another run, another watch through, right? So I could appreciate it. But Henry Cavill to me is a really great Superman, and I heard that he was done, and I hope that's not the truth. I hope they could get him to come back, because this whole thing with Raymond Fisher or whatever his name is, the guy that plays Cyborg, he was having a problem with the DC and WB as a total, So there's a lot of things there. I think everybody likes Zack Snyder, and the Zack Snyder's kind of the Zack Snyder Justice League is coming out this month. So
month, yes. Okay, yes.
So they're giving out shorts now for character spotlights, right? So you see Batman, and he says, I should have been bringing us together as opposed to dividing us. And then you see Black Suit Superman.
Yeah.
And man, Henry Cavill, man. You know what it is? I have been such a proponent for Man of Steel 1. You like Man of Steel. Why is it not a Man of Steel 2, man? Like,
he is definitely a good-looking Superman. Like,
yeah, bro. And then the whole with his father, with Jor-El and Russell Crowe as his father, the scene on the ship where Lois is running, and he's like, "No, you got to go that way," and he's like, "Nah, that way," and he's just like, the beginning sequence of that movie. I think that whole movie is just really well done. And shout out to Zack Snyder, because you know what he was doing there. Batman vs Superman.
Zack Snyder. Sorry for cutting you off. Zack Snyder directed one of my favorite zombie movies of all time, and that is the 2005 remake of Dawn of the Dead. If I'm not mistaken,
Right.
I think it's Dawn of the Dead.
Right.
One of them. I think. Yeah, and man, have you ever seen that movie?
Nah, I haven't. Tell me.
Are you a horror guy? I'm a horror guy.
I was just having this conversation the other day with my next week's host, my next week guest host. She's a really big horror person, and I am totally a big, you know what I mean? Because as a kid, I used to be scared of everything. Everything. Don't play me.
I'm a horror dude, bro, and I'm a zombie flick connoisseur. I'm really critical of zombie movies. My ultimate goal is to write and direct my own zombie movie someday. But he made the Dawn of the Dead remake. I think it's the Dawn of the Dead. I always mix them. The one with when they go to the mall. This one has what's that? Ving Rhames in there. Mekhi Phifer's in there. A couple of other people, but just the intro to the beginning of the movie, it was so high, so fast paced. I loved it, and he directed it. So you got it. All them Zack Snyder fans, go check out that one. I think it's
my favorite. Zack Snyder was. I don't think I have a favorite because he's done a lot of good stuff. I think so, but because I like Watchmen, obviously, right? I like Watchmen, but come on, 300 though, like this.
Yeah.
Come on, give me that.
He did a great job with 300.
Apparently, he's doing another movie. He's directing Army of the Dead in 2021.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
I'm looking back here. Let's see. Dawn of the Dead. He did. I think. You know what? I think I might be lying. I think I might have seen it. You know. I think because I'm not really big into horror stuff. You know, because like it just wasn't my stuff growing up. You know, I was a big vagina. I was a big pussy. You can call me all that. I don't care. I was not into Freddy Krueger. I was not into clowns. I was not. And you know, so you like The Walking Dead because that's not really my speed, but you like The Walking Dead.
I watched up into the last 2 seasons. I had enough after a while because I was following the Walking Dead comic for a long time. I'm so mad I didn't get in on like the first couple of issues because I'm saying so worth some
mad money right now.
Yeah. But I started with Walking Dead with the comic. So I was reading all the issues. I was reading the novels that they put out and everything. And then the TV show came. I started watching that. You know what I mean? And then up until when Rick got hoisted away from the helicopter or whatever. After that season, I was like, I kind of checked out. You know.
Oh man, another movie, Sucker Punch. Did you watch Sucker Punch? Zack Snyder?
I remember. Sucker Punch is a movie that if I was going to watch it now, I'm just watching the action scenes. That's it. Everything. Right. I could care less.
I never watched it in its entirety, so I just fairly recently watched it in its entirety recently. And I'm like, oh, you know what? This actually wasn't that bad, so didn't hate it. But looking forward to Zack Snyder's Justice League, Army of the Dead coming out 2021, which is this year, obviously. So I don't know what it's about, but yeah. So the Justice League coming out this month. 4 hours long. You're gonna invest 4 hours into that bad boy?
4 hours? I didn't know it was 4 hours.
Yeah, you're gonna do one sit-in, or you're gonna take a break? You're gonna take an intermission?
I'll probably do an intermission. You know what I mean? I'll probably do an intermission, but I'm gonna definitely sit through it and watch it in one sitting, one night.
Yeah. So we were talking about like superheroes and stuff like that, and how you know, the reason they're favorites and who and why they're favorites or scenes and stuff like that, and to me their struggles, and which is why I really connected as growing up as my favorite superhero was Spider-Man, right? So Spider-Man, how could you not see that struggle between characters like the Thing and Spider-Man? Like there's so much struggle in them, right? The Thing is a guy who can never go back, right? He can never be normal. He can never have a relationship because he's always going to be this monster, right? He's going to be this monster forever. He's not like the Hulk that could go back. So that struggle really makes Ben Grimm a big deal. And Peter Parker's struggle with being a kid, a teenager, and trying to balance his life as a superhero and save people and still go to school and then later on get a job at the Daily Bugle, you know, like having that life, you know, that struggles in women problems because he could never really have a real relationship, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that's what really makes to me a character, right? And I like that. I love story and action, and full circle, this goes back to WandaVision. There was a lot of story, not a lot of action. So it didn't really draw me as much as I would have loved. There was a lot of struggle. Which I could appreciate. But then like there wasn't really much action. So there was no like evenness to me on that. But that's just me blabbering about WandaVision. So that was it, man. So, you know, that was my overall thoughts for this week about everything, every news. That's it for the news and stuff like that. So got anything? Any news? Anything?
Just watch out for the Top 5 Dead or Alive podcast. A new episode probably gonna come out next Thursday. Not sure what it's about, but it'll be one coming on Thursday. Just stay tuned. A lot of stuff coming up. Stay tuned.
Absolutely. So I guess on saying that, I guess we could wrap this up. So I want to thank you for joining again, guest hosting with me this week.
Yes, sir.
I swear I'm gonna leave you alone eventually, unless I need to harass you and I need a co-host.
Hey man, anytime. It's all good.
I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And definitely everybody check out the Top 5 Dead or Alive podcast, Ali Oxnfree and
Cali Rock.
Yep. Wish them my best. And I'm going to thank everybody for coming, checking out the podcast. And I'm the Geek-A-Rican, Zach Muniz. I'm here with
Ali Oxnfree.
Thank you guys for joining, everybody. Peace.
Peace.